Alright, hey, what's going on? It's Ben here, bringing to you a mid-range control. I don't know what kind of Abyssian this is, but it is pretty good. I'm tempted to keep a Spectral Revenant, but the problem is it doesn't really fit in my hand very well. And there's also a question of which 2-drops I want to play. Let's get rid of a Spectral Revenant. I won't be able to use them anyway, and it seems like I make a lot of mistakes by just using Darkfire Sacrifice and bringing out the Spectral Revenant too early. Or trying to attempt to get a Spectral Revenant out too early, because usually I can't contest the Mana Spring on turn 3 to grab a Spectral Revenant that early in the game. But I think I'll use a Maw here since that is a minion that I can actually develop. It's kind of weird, definitely not usually a play I would normally make, but I think it's alright to be honest. Because he played the Primus Fist, I'm assuming he doesn't have a Healing Mystic, because I feel like you would play the Healing Mystic before you play a Primus Fist, because you can follow up the Healing Mystic with a Primus Fist to remove a 2/3 body. So otherwise, how this game is going, I do not really have a good proactive game plan going forward. So right now I'm playing the role of control. You see I have reactive cards with Zenrui, the Bloodtear Alchemist, the Spectral Blade, and a Darkfire Sacrifice that doesn't seem to work well in his hand. So I'll probably get rid of a Darkfire Sacrifice. So with this deck, I did say it was a mid-range control because I wasn't really sure what kind of deck this is. Obviously, the early game you can see is running a lot of like sustaining powers, cards that you're going to use to remove cards and to help you get ahead on board. Maybe not ahead, but it's not proactive. They're all reactive, but they're very strong reactive cards, so you might be able to get ahead on board. Alright, what's he doing here? Spelljammer, okay, I need that card draw. Maybe I'll just use a Zenrui on there. Yeah, because it's going to be a 2-drop here, so typically with a Darkfire Sacrifice, you want to get a hit off of your 2/3 drop or 2/3 minion, and then oh, that's pretty good. Well, that's really good. Wait, that's really bad. Oh, I guess he grabbed the Mana Spring, so he couldn't do that. But anyway, see, this is kind of the perfect situation where I can attack both my Healing Mystic here and my General here. And the 2/1 body really isn't going to do much. Wait, I'm going to just play out this turn first. Do I want to keep a Bloodtear Alchemist? Kind of, yeah. But nah, I want some more proactive plays because I'm getting ahead on board, so let's keep it going. There is no Dancing Blades currently. So Darkfire Sacrifice. Zenrui! Big swing, big swing. He's going to need a Zenrui of himself if he wants to come back in this game. And yeah, so as I was explaining, Darkfire Sacrifice commonly used your 2/3 minions since everyone else is running 2/3s. You just smack them once, and usually your opponent's general can take out the 2/1 body. However, with a Darkfire Sacrifice, you can actually make some good use of a 2/1 body apart from dealing 2 damage. I guess you can say that you're getting rid of 2 damage on your opponent's general to bring out something big on the following turn. I seem to be pretty lucky on getting my early game so far, or maybe it's actually built well. Deck that's built well. I'm not really sure whether I want to include more things apart from Healing Mystic, because I feel like Healing Mystic is good. I'm not sure if I want to include more 2-drops like a Primus Fist or a Jaxi. Although it is an interesting choice whether I want to include a Jaxi or the Primus Fist, because the Jaxi is really good at just putting on the mini Jax and dealing damage. However, everyone has a way to deal with the mini Jax, so it's kind of a weird psychological battle. Wow, I have a lot of damage. Alright, so since I'm probably going to burst him down, I'll use one Spectral Blade here, get rid of this Crystal Cloaker, and just put on some damage. Just put on that damage. He hasn't used anything to get ahead on board yet. He probably does have them though, so I could just lose to a bunch of the classic Kara cards. I probably don't need a Ritual Banishing because it's Kara. Do I want to use a Saberspine Tiger or the Shadow Spawn? Probably a Saberspine Tiger because I don't really exactly have the resources to play a sustained battle. So I want to put on the damage as quickly as possible. So I want more immediate effects. If I can play the Shadow Sister, I will. Even though it's kind of pointless, you know, you don't really need a Shadow Sister when you're trying to aggro your opponent down. The Ritual Banishing could be useful in game of a Provoke Shieldmaster or Dalatus's Tombstone. I guess it'll depend on his play right now. He doesn't appear to have a way to deal with these minions. Although that would be a surprise. I mean, that's going to have to be a Bloodtear Alchemist, my man. Blazehound, alright. Armaw's alright. And it's a 2/2, so I'm feeling pretty good about this. I can get rid of a Blazehound pretty nicely, so I'm feeling good about this. Alright, alright. Yeah, I still have room to develop proactive plays. Interesting. I might actually just want to develop a Shadow Sister, right? So I can set up for what I want the most. That Spectral Revenant. So I think I'll just set up a Spectral Revenant here. There's no need to get overly complicated here. I guess I'll get rid of a Shadow Sister to see what kind of damage options I have as well. Darkfire Sacrifice, not bad. Actually, getting the Darkfire Sacrifice is even better because I can get rid of this Blaze Hound. It looks like he could have the Bloodtear Alchemist. But I'm continuing to clear off the board. Really, there's no real need to do that. But I think it's a more proactive play putting down the Spectral Revenant, so I might as well do that. And I do have the Shadow Reflection, so this is the best play. Although a little bit unlikely. Yeah, the top end is super strong, so if you're able to just get out these guys super fast, it's just so good. Alright, that's Cryogenesis. 3 mana, not really going to do much for him. Healing Mystic is probably the best option, but the Healing Mystic is not much. Oh, it's not enough healing. Yeah. You have a lot of cards, my man, but when I'm putting on this much pressure, you're in trouble. This is a Bloodtear Alchemist getting rid of a little bit of a Spectral Blade. Or Chromatic Cold, you know, whatever floats your boat. My man! Saber-Spine Tiger! Alright! Yeah, game number 1. Alright, let's bring it on. Should I keep this hand? It's a good question, really. I definitely want to develop a Healing Mystic. As for these 4 cards, I don't think I want to get rid of any of them. Maybe Rite of the Underworld, but I think I'll be able to accelerate my mana curve pretty... Well, not mana curve, but I'm going to accelerate my hand drop-in technique, so... I feel like I might need the Rite to fill up later, because I do have a lot of pretty fast cards. Well, this accelerates my hand's usage. I don't even know. Let's say it accelerates my 64 pickup, I don't know. 52 pickup. I wonder what's this line. Is this in the Linar Kingdom? Probably. Oh yeah. Alright, let's see what's going down here. Windblade Adept, not bad. I cannot get rid of it, unfortunately. Oh, I can get rid of it now. Azure Lion, I cannot get rid of. Haha! So, it looks like I'm going to use a Spectral Blade to get rid of that. Then I'm going to attack into a Linar General and then use a Darkfire Sacrifice. So maybe I can potentially get a Spectral Revenant on the following turn. Probably not, unfortunately. But it is what it is. I don't exactly have a better option. I could get rid of a Spectral Revenant and see if I can get a better option. But I think I already made the place, or I already moved my minions, so I think I'm just going to go with this. Oh yeah, it feels pretty good. Or it feels pretty okay. Do the Darkfire Sacrifice preemptively, and hopefully I can get something good going on the following turns. I don't think there's a card that I really want to. Maybe a Saber-Spine Tiger so I can get rid of the Lion, although I wouldn't be able to get rid of the Windblade Adept, so it's not really clear what was the better play here. But I can get rid of one of the Rite of the Underworld Vaults because I'm not really afraid of losing out on cards anymore. Alright, check it out. Check it out. Daltas. Not cool. Attack please, attack please. It's too smart. It's too smart for me. Alright, let's get rid of the Rite of the Undervault. Woo! That is pretty good. I can steal a Tombstone. Or the Lion. Well, let's steal the Tombstone here. Seems pretty good to me. I always like to steal myself some Tombstones. Should I use a Shadow Spawn before or after? Well, that's really bad. I can't steal a Tombstone now. Unless it lands here or here. Woo! Nailed it! Was there something I could have done better there? I guess I should have moved backwards. It's hard to say, really. I'm actually kind of curious how I should have approached that. Should I have moved backwards? I don't know. Unfortunately, he can get rid of this pretty easily. Yeah, he can just use the Roar. That's an insane Lion, if I do say so myself. Woo! Trading Zenruis. Hilarious! I guess he's going to get rid of the Zenrui now. Yeah. Seems like a reasonable play. Alright, I have big minions, so I don't really need Rite of the Undervault here. Ooh, that's some potential right there. But I will use a Zenrui here, again, naturally. I can't really play around Dancing Blades, which is quite unfortunate. Actually, I can. And I will play around Dancing Blades here, because it seems like the natural thing to do. I'll just put the Wrathling over here. Should I attack into that? No, I do not want to attack into that. Don't want to take extra damage that I don't need to. Play around Dance Blades, because, you know, play around it when you can. And I don't think that I really need to put on the extra couple of damage, because I do have the Spectral Revenant, so that should be able to help me get rid of Ironcliff Guardians. No problem, no problem. What a weird game. Maybe I should include a third Zenrui. Zenruis are so swingy, and it's so important to have them. Like, if I didn't have a second Zenrui, and I would have to deal with the Tombstone. If he steals it back, that'll be hilarious, but, you know, what can you do about it? Alright, so he's just going to get rid of it old-fashioned way, I suppose. Alright, I feel good about this. Feel very good about this. Actually, I might get rid of a Darkfire Sacrifice. Although I do want to definitely use the Shadow Spawn this turn. So I might just get rid of the, you know, Bloodtear Alchemist. Alright. Let's clear this board out! Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that. Yes, get rid of that Bloodtear Alchemist. Actually, I want the Bloodtear Alchemist, right? Because to fill my mana curve, I'm going to have 1 extra mana. So let's get rid of the Bloodtear Alchemist, actually. Oh, do I have lethal here? 12. That's pretty good. Yeah, I do want to get the free kills, so let's get a couple of free kills. Although, do I want to play around Tempest? Maybe. Yeah, I think I'm going to play around Tempest, because it seems pretty reasonable. It's probably better to use a Darkfire Sacrifice on a Wrathling over here. Although I do want to keep a Spectral Revenant in a very close relevant position. Yeah, I guess he had no way to deal with a Spectral Revenant, so pretty good, pretty good. I feel like this deck is a little bit hilarious because my intention of this deck is just like put everything that I think is pretty overpowered. Yeah. Do I want to contest the Mana Springs? Because I might. He probably has a 3-drop, so I definitely want to contest the Mana Springs. I'm going to contest all the Mana Springs. Yeah, so I can get the Zenrui out on the following turn if he puts down 3 drops. Since he misses 2, but I feel like he wouldn't miss a 3, right? Yeah. Normally this is a bad play, but he didn't drop anything on turn 2. Yeah, I don't think there's a way for him to clear everything. Probably Phoenix Flower, yeah. Alright, so this is pretty excellent, if I do say so myself. Stealing a Lantern Fox. That is the play that you dreamed for. Let's get rid of the Rite of Undervault. I'm going to get some card draw off of that Lantern Fox anyway, so it feels pretty good, that's for sure. What an amazing read, just stealing out Lantern Fox. Anyway, just like this deck just includes everything, well not everything, but a lot of stuff that is just unfair, right? Because this is Zenrui, unfair. Maw is pretty fair, I guess, but kind of unfair also. Interestingly enough, I don't actually run 2-drops that contest the board, because actually running decks like that seem to be a little bit weaker now. Is it a little bit weaker? I don't know. I guess if you go full on aggro, you do want to run a lot of 2-drops, but it turns out that running a lot of reactive plays is not bad at all. Hopefully I can use a Zenrui on that. That would be insane. It's a little bit unlikely though. I can get rid of that Chakra Avatar, so my. Should I steal the Heartseeker? Alright, I guess stealing the Heartseeker would be too much, you know. I already got a good outcome. I might as well just do what I have, you know. I actually want to include a Shadow Reflection here, but I do want to get rid of all this stuff. Oh! Yeah, let's go a little bit greedy here. Let's go a little bit greedy. Actually, this is super greedy. This actually plays around Zenrui, so this is totally fine. I guess I should use the... I should replace the Phoenix Fire first, so let's see what's going down. Shadow Reflection here, baby. Oh yeah. Who's a Songhai now? Well, you're still a Songhai, but I'm doing quite a bit of damage, so be aware. And be scared! I guess he didn't have a Chocolate Avatar drop on turn 1. That's not a big deal. Did make this attack, right? Alright, yeah, that's good, that's good. It definitely feels bad losing a Lantern Fox to Zenray, which is why my last Spell Song High deck I didn't include Lantern Fox, because why risk everything on that? Put down another Lantern Fox, I have another Zenray for it. I guess in terms of the board it's come back, but in terms of morale, he's lost all of his morale probably by now. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's not much you can do here. Feels bad, but it is what it is. Alright, hey, welcome to the end of the video. That was Midrange or Control Vision. Hard to say which one it is. Maybe it's a Tempo Vision. Maybe I'll just call it a Midrange Vision. Or should I call it a Control Vision? I'm not really sure. I will call it Control Vision because in the early game you're running Maws and Blood Tier Alchemist to really control the early game. You're playing reactively, and then you have the Shadow Sister, which does help control the board as well. Well, it controls your health, so you don't have to worry too much about aggro. And then you want to close out your games with your top end stuff, also Shadow Reflection. So it's kind of a bursty control Lilith, which I thought was pretty sweet. You definitely have some kind of tempo plays with your Darkfire Sacrifices and your Ritual Banishment, which are all really insane and pretty much is good enough. It's good enough to just run the Lilith Bloodborne spell just because of the synergies with those cards. So I thought that was pretty sweet. Pretty much the basis of this deck was that there's a lot of pretty powerful cards in Abyssian, a lot of pretty powerful neutrals. So just put all the powerful cards together, and this is what you have. You have a pretty sweet deck, if I do say so myself. At least it worked pretty well. Maybe it's actually not that great of a deck. Nah, it's definitely pretty good of a deck. So I thought it was a very strong deck. It had a very clear early game. It had a very clear win condition with just putting on damage with the Spectral Revenant. Your Saber Spine Tiger, just Shadow Reflections. Sometimes the Reaper of 9 Moons can do some sick stuff. So that was it. So be sure to check out some more videos and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later. See ya! Prismatic Dynamic Lures. Oh yeah.